This video is to go through some of the other types of authentication protocols that are typically used today to access online accounts. So there are several other protocols. Two of the more popular today are SMS, one-time password, right? The texting of the phone, the code, which is texted to your phone and then you enter it into your login screen. That's SMS. And then the other one is what they call token one-time password, where you have a token generator application on your cell phone. For example, Google Authenticator or the Authy app is a very popular token generator app. But so the SMS one-time password technique, authentication technique, is essentially been deemed unsafe by not only just like the security community in general, but even by the US government. If you Google the search phrase SMS authentication unsafe, you will see Google has many results that are basically talking about why SMS or text-based two-factor authentication is not safe and should not be used anymore. So I'm really not even going to go through how that works or why it's unsafe. It's just not, it's kind of a waste of time to even think about SMS authentication anymore. So the other technique is this token generator that, like Google Authenticator or Authy has become one of the most popular token generator authentication techniques. And the way this works, and this comes actually right off of one of Authy's pages, Learn More page, how to enable it and how it works. And basically the way it works is you get to a screen eventually. You have to set it up for each online account, right? So for your Google account, your Gmail account, your Dropbox account, each one of your accounts, each one of your online accounts has to be configured so that it can be accessed or authenticated using this token generator. This is also for Facebook, they're showing. So one of the things that kind of jumps out, at least to me right away, is there are a ridiculous number of steps in order to enable two-factor authentication, right? So for Gmail, you have to go through all these steps and you get down to, there's 11 steps. Dropbox, there's 9 steps, and Facebook has 15 steps that you have to go through in order to enable this two-factor authentication. So it's just, in our opinion, extremely time-consuming and complicated. It is complicated, right? The way it works is each online account website will create this QR code. It's basically a seed that, and then there's another seed on the website, on the online account website, and they both generate these codes that kind of sync up with each other. So you're supposed to scan this QR code with your authentication app like Authy, and then you enter in the verification code that comes up that's generated, and then each time you log in, you have to enter in this authentication code that's generated by the Authenticator app, and that's how you log in. So, one of the main problems potentially with these token authenticators is that they are unsafe in a mass problem, right? So there's a large number. Everyone can be hacked at one time. The token generator technology and code is all stored on the Authy servers, and if the Authy servers are ever hacked, then everyone's account is compromised. Everyone that uses token authentication, okay, it could be millions of people, are instantly compromised. And even Authy themselves have changed their system in light of the Heartbleed virus. They changed all of their keys on their server, the way that their algorithm were generating the keys. They went and changed it for everyone because they believe this Heartbleed may have compromised their system. So even Authy, the token generator application company, admits and has actually done things that show that their system is like a global attack surface, where every single account is potentially compromised or could be compromised through a hack of their servers. This is a huge problem. And the RSA token generator, which was one of the original companies, they actually were hacked. Their token generator seed at their server was hacked, and they had to reissue millions of token generators. And it was like a $16 million process. It was just clearly an indication that token authentication can be unsafe. But even if people believe that token generators are safe, and even assuming, I guess, that they are safe, one of the other main problems with token generators is what happens if you lose your token generator, your phone, right? What do you do if you lose your phone? How are you going to log into your accounts? So what they have done is they have created multiple backdoors into your account that essentially helps you access your account if you lose your token generator, if you lose your phone. Okay, one of the things that some sites recommend you do is that you basically save this QR code, print it out and save it somewhere, right? So if you lose your phone, you get a new phone and then you just rescan this QR code, right? The problem with that is the phone that you lost, if you do it this way, the phone that you lost continues to generate tokens. It continues to be a token generator. So that phone is basically a key to your account. If a hacker that gets that phone, hacks into the phone, and can generate the tokens to access your account. So that's, clearly in our mind, not a good way to go. So if you don't do it this way, if you don't rescan the QR code that was initially generated for your account, what you have to do is basically reset. You have to disable the two-factor authentication. And some sites don't even tell you this. They won't tell you that the only way to disable a token generator is to disable it for the site and then to re-enable it so that a new QR code is generated that you then rescan. You scan the new QR code, right? What user is going to understand that? Understand that this is actually even a new QR code, right? A new seed. This is extremely complicated. Even for me, I'm an extremely sophisticated computer user, and this was complicated for me to finally grasp. I do get it now, but it took me hours and hours, right? So even if you decide that you're going to reset the 2FA, right, disable it and then re-enable it in order to regenerate your new QR code, right, and then reset all of your accounts, even if you were to do it that way, you still need to get into your account if you lose your phone. Right? So, and if you don't save this QR code in order to rescan it, then there's other ways that these sites recommend that how you can get back into it. Like, so one of them is, a backup phone number. So you put in this backup phone number, say of a friend or a family member, and then if you lose your phone, the website will send the authentication code SMS text to your backup phone number, your friend's phone number, or your family member, whatever. But the main problem with that is people change their phone numbers, and if your friend changes their phone number, right, and doesn't tell you, or you forget, even if you know, now that back door is closed. You can't get into your account. The other way that they allow you to get into your account backdoor is they give you this one-time code. When you set it up, they give you this one-time access code that you can then save, and this is the code that you can enter. It essentially becomes a key for your account. It's a backdoor key. This code is like a token that will always work one time. And so if you lose your phone, you enter this code, and then that's how they allow you into your account. So, there's obvious problems with that one, right? Because you have to create this backup code for each online account, and then you have to save it for each online account in a safe place. So let's say that you want to do it for your bank accounts, and let's say it's the way you go. You save this backup code, or you save the QR code. Either way. And let's say, how are you going to save it? Well, maybe a safe deposit box in the bank. So you put this code in, or this QR code in a bank safe deposit box. But let's say you want to generate a new QR code, you want to set up a new account, a new online account. You open a new bank account or trading account, and you want to do another 2FA token generator authentication. So you create you set up the account like the same way with the QR code, or you save backup codes, And now what do you have to do? You have to go to the bank. You have to take those backups, and you have to take them to the bank and store them in this safe deposit box. Each time you create a new online account, you have to save and store, print, and store in the safe deposit box your backup codes. So, who wants to go to the bank and access their safe deposit box every time they want to create a new online account? Okay, so the way that this compares to chain lock, okay, this is how chain lock would work. First of all, chain lock would avoid all of these like multiple steps. The steps are different, right? Each website has their own 2FA token generator way to set it up. It's this, each site is different, and you have to learn for each site how to do it. With chain lock, it's going to be a standard interface and the protocol so that everyone does the same thing, and it's just very intuitive what you're doing, right? You're creating a working address, a Bitcoin address for each account, and you are transferring money into that address in order to lock the account, and then out of the address in order to unlock it. So for every website, it's all the same. You just assign a working Bitcoin address to each account. It's that simple. Okay, and then for the scenario where you lose your phone, the way that you recover from a lost phone, right, or a lost working address, even if you could have this address was generated using bitaddress.org, right? I could just print this out and do them all on paper. But no matter how I do my working address, whether it's on paper or digital wallet, if I lose my wallet, my working address wallet, lose my phone, or even lose this working address piece of paper, I can have this master address that I can then use to reset my account. And the master address can be the same for all of my accounts. So, and I can just keep this public shared key. I can keep it with me. I'm next to my computer at all times, because what matters is this secret key. This is what I keep secret. I can just put this, as soon as I generate this master address, I can make a copy of the shared address, and I can then take this secret address, maybe a piece of paper the whole thing is printed on, and put it in my bank safe deposit box. And I'd never have to access that again unless I lose my working address, unless I lose my phone. So each time I generate or set up a new online account, right, I of course need to create a new working address for the account, which is just intuitive. Of course you have to create the new working address, the new key for that new account. But then I just enter the same master address that's sitting next to my computer, right? This shared address, I enter that into every single online account that I configure. I don't have to go to the bank to save anything. It's already saved in my bank, in my safe deposit box, right? This secret key is already there. It's already saved there. I don't have to go there. So again, every time I create a new account, configure a new online account, I just enter this master address as my backup address. If I lose my working address for the account, that's when I have to go to the bank, okay? But even then, right, what I could do is just store a copy of this. I could store multiple copies of the secret key in my safe deposit box. I could grab a copy of it out of my safe deposit box, go back to my house, log into my computer, get on my computer and log into each website, and with this master address, with this secret key, I can reset all of my working addresses for all of my online accounts. I have to reset the key, which of course you have to do in any authentication protocol. You need to reset the key. When you lose your keys, you have to reset the key. When you lose your house key, you got to rekey your locks. It's just how security works, right? But this is very intuitive, very simple as far as like, how do I rekey it? I just generate a new working address and I assign the new address to that account. How do I get into my account? When this working address is lost, I use my master address to get into the account. Once I get into the account using my master address, I simply reset my working address. It all works the same for every online account website, and so it's very intuitive. There's no seeds, there's no synchronization of tokens that are being generated. There's no resetting of seeds that people don't even understand. There's no chance, essentially no chance of a working address being out there like a working token generator, because the websites are all going to be generated, they're all going to be implemented the same way. If you access a website with a master address, they're going to tell you, they're going to warn you that, look, you need to reset your working address. None of the current websites with current token 2FA, none of them give you any kind of warning or understanding of what is happening when you lose your token authenticator. They don't tell you, like, this is what you need to do. You need to be careful, right? They don't say anything. It's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. And plus all the backdoor ways that they allow you in, those are just security risks. And they just increase the number of ways in. And a lot of websites will just allow you to call up and like try to get through just answering questions with your personal information. But once Chainlock is out there and implemented, people will understand that this master address that matters, and people will save this master address, and you only have to save it once for all of your online accounts. These are all key benefits to Chainlock. So the other third, call it the third point or issue that we would point out is that the way that Chainlock works is it uses the Bitcoin protocol in a way that forces or encourages people to actually use Bitcoin, to actually engage in Bitcoin transactions, right? So there's other authentication protocols that really aren't even adopted, but they're out there. There's just proposals like BitID, which uses just the Bitcoin private keys, right? Public private key authentication is all it really is implementing. It's not really it doesn't use the Bitcoin blockchain for authentication, right? So but Chainlock, it uses the Bitcoin blockchain. It uses that authentication of the blockchain in order to authenticate an online account. And again, obviously people have to do transactions, and they're small transactions. They're 20-cent transactions, but they're still Bitcoin transactions. And so they'll learn how Bitcoin works. It will become very intuitive to people how Bitcoin works, and that will cause the use of Bitcoin to spread. It should literally cause it to explode if people are initially just using Bitcoin, introduced to Bitcoin as an authentication protocol. Not just Bitcoin private keys, but the whole process, the Bitcoin transactions themselves. Once people are introduced to how that works and they see it and they're using wallets and they're doing transactions, they will get excited about Bitcoin and they will use it for other reasons. Bitcoin will explode. So this is probably the final and probably the most important point, is that everyone that's in Bitcoin and wants to see Bitcoin succeed, we should all get behind Chainlock, because Chainlock will just cause Bitcoin to skyrocket and explode in mass usability. It'll expose millions of more people to it, and that is what is stopping Bitcoin now. We need to get people exposed to it, and Chainlock is a key way to do this. Again, if you have any questions about Chainlock, please visit our website, chaintightsecurity.com, and send us an email. And also, please log in, create your own account at chaintightsecurity.com, log in, and look at everything that it has to offer. Thank you.